Diddy couldn't have done all of these crimes without his inner circle, right? Without his bodyguard, without his driver, without his assistant. They talked about alleged kidnappings. That one time he kidnapped his assistant to go and try to find Cassie when he thought Cassie was cheating. I mean, it was wild. I feel like I could go on forever, but I won't.
The P. Diddy trial is one of the most explosive and complicated celebrity legal cases in recent memory, with a mix of shocking allegations, celebrity connections, and decades of rumored misconduct finally coming to light. The case has captured the attention of the public and the media alike. But to truly understand how it all unfolded, we need to go back to where it started. For years, there have been whispers about Sean Diddy Combs, stories about his involvement in everything from controlling relationships to violent acts and even conspiracy theories, linking him to the deaths of legendary rappers. But nothing stuck. That changed in 2023 when his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit that would kickstart a domino effect of accusations, investigations, and a federal trial. Cassie accused Diddy of abuse, both emotional and physical.
Emily Johnson actually said that Cassie did choke on urine of sort when Diddy forced this to allegedly urinate in her mouth. They did say inner circle numerous times, I believe, really trying to amplify the RICO charges. Diddy couldn't have done all of these crimes without his inner circle, right? Without his bodyguard, without his driver, without his assistant. They talked about alleged kidnappings. That one time he kidnapped his assistant to go and try to find Cassie when he thought Cassie was cheating. I mean, it was wild. I feel like I could go on forever, but I won't.
According to her, Diddy would drug her, control her access to medical records and her finances, and coerce her into non-consensual schmexual acts that he would record. She described the experience as terrifying and controlling, stating that he used his power and money to manipulate and silence her.
He said he saw Diddy at one point after an encounter drag Cassie by the hair from her computer seat all the way back to her bedroom while she was and screaming and crying. And after she apologized and came out, he said that Diddy said, okay, you guys want to continue? And he couldn't perform. And that was it. From there, he could not perform after that. And he saw Diddy Cassie 2 or 3 more times after that as well.
Although the lawsuit was quickly settled out of court, it opened the floodgates. Other lawsuits followed, some from men, some from women, all painting a similar picture of Diddy as someone who used his wealth and influence to exploit, intimidate, and control those around him. Then came the federal involvement. In March of 2024, Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security as part of a criminal investigation.
We're getting a look at new video from last month's raid at Sean Diddy Combs' home in Holby Hills. The mother of one of his sons shared the video on Instagram, calling it an excessive use of force. The footage was edited and sped up. 2 of Combs' sons, Justin and Christian, were briefly detained in a raid relating to allegations. Justin's mother says she's now getting a lawyer involved. There was also a raid at Combs' home in Miami as well. He has denied all of the allegations so far.
It was a turning point. The feds were now involved. Shortly after, video footage surfaced of Diddy physically Cassie in a hotel hallway. This was no longer a matter of he said, she said. There was evidence. Diddy issued an apology, saying he was ashamed of his behavior and committed to becoming a better man. But the damage was done. The public had seen the video. His empire was beginning to crumble. By September 2024, things escalated further. Diddy was indicted by a federal grand jury on multiple charges, including racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, and obstruction of justice. The indictment claimed that Diddy ran a criminal enterprise through his businesses, using them as a cover to abuse, manipulate, and exploit people for years. Central to the case are the infamous freak-offs, wild days-long parties allegedly filled with drugs, weapons, and coerced sexual acts. Prosecutors claim Diddy used drugs, guns, and psychological manipulation to control both men and women, often involving non-consensual sexual acts that were recorded for his personal collection. The trial, which began in early 2025, is currently underway. Diddy faces 5 criminal charges, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of traffic force, fraud or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in work. Each carries severe penalties, including possible life imprisonment. Diddy has denied all charges. His legal team includes Brian Steele, known for defending rapper Young Thug. Their main defense is that any acts involving Diddy were consensual and that the prosecution's portrayal of him as a monster is exaggerated and biased. They claim Cassie and others voluntarily participated in the events described. But the testimony from witnesses has been damning. Cassie took the stand and described her decade-long relationship with Diddy as one of fear and control. She recounted being forced into sexual acts, being physically abused, and constantly monitored. Other witnesses echoed her claims. A male escort testified that Diddy paid him to have intercourse with Cassie while Diddy watched and filmed. He described one incident where Diddy threw a bottle at Cassie, dragged her by her hair, and hit her repeatedly. Dawn Richard, a former member of Diddy's girl group, Danity Kane, testified that she saw Diddy Cassie over something as minor as cold eggs. Cassie's mother, friend, stylist, and makeup artist also took the stand, describing injuries and bruises they witnessed firsthand. Kid Cudi was another surprising witness. He testified that during the time he briefly dated Cassie, Diddy broke into his home, and shortly after, Cudi's car was blown up in what appeared to be a firebombing. An LAPD officer testified that a black SUV registered to Diddy's company was seen speeding away from the scene. One of the more jaw-dropping pieces of testimony came from Diddy's former assistant Capricorn Clark. She said that Diddy forced her into a car at gunpoint to confront Kid Cudi after learning about his relationship with Cassie. She also claimed she was held captive and subjected to lie detector tests for 5 days after jewelry went missing, and that Diddy threatened to throw her into the East River. Clark said she returned to work for Diddy multiple times because she had no other options. The music industry is notoriously small, and Diddy allegedly used his influence to blacklist those who left or spoke out. She eventually won a wrongful termination lawsuit after being fired for trying to report the kidnapping incident. Homeland Security agents also testified, presenting photos of what was found in Diddy's homes: thousands of bottles of baby oil and lubricant, drugs, weapons with serial numbers filed off, and a fully loaded handgun in luggage. Diddy's defense argued that baby oil isn't illegal and the guns were inoperable. The courtroom also heard from a Beverly Hills hotel manager who described Diddy's frequent stays. He testified that rooms would be left in disarray, covered in candle wax and oil, and always needed deep cleaning. All of this paints a picture of someone who used his fame, fortune, and fear to control and harm others. While some of the more salacious details might sound unbelievable, the volume and consistency of the testimonies make the accusations harder to dismiss. Now, in its 3rd week, the trial has already delivered shocking revelations, and more witnesses are expected. Some believe Diddy may still try to settle or cut a deal, but for now, the courtroom drama continues. The stakes are incredibly high. If convicted, Diddy could spend the rest of his life in prison. But beyond the legal consequences, the case represents a seismic shift in how the public views powerful figures in entertainment. The days of whisper networks and untouchable celebrities may be coming to an end. As the trial progresses, it serves as a reminder that even the most influential people are not above the law. And for the victims who finally found the courage to speak out, it may be a chance at justice that has been long overdue.